What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. Today we're going to be looking at the Revenger from EKUAZ Studio. This figure is an artistic interpretation of the Punisher in their arcade video game series. Not much to look at on the packaging. This product is suitable for ages 15 and up. Please read. So let's get them out. All right, quick look at what we've got going on through the packaging. We've got an M16 with an additional clip. I wonder if that's removable. We've got some loose grenades. The wrapping that goes around his shoulder for his harness. Blam, blam. Twin mega pistols, twin Glocks, 4 pairs of additional hands with the 2 that he comes with, a hunting knife, a machete, a holstered pistol, and twin Uzis. Quick impression through the packaging. He's got some really awesome deco, right? The gloves, the utility belt, really cool stuff. Let's get him out of the package and let's check him out. So, unexpected twist. An arm popped off while I was trying to attach the shoulder harness. And as I was trying to get the arm back on, inside of the shirt, the other arm popped off. To get these arms back in. So you have a little slot and a ball peg. And I wasn't able to get it through. That's why, because the bicep was sliding on me. This piece of the bicep, as you can see, slides up and down. And as I was trying to get it on with the shirt, I wasn't able to snap it in place. But there we go. It is now snapped in place. That should take us right into articulation. So at the head, you've got some great tilt, outstanding rotation, great up, outstanding look down. At the shoulders, you've got greater than 90 degrees. It does give you rotation. You've got that rotation at the bicep that loosens up, like I mentioned and showed you. You've got the double jointed elbow, as we saw underneath the shirt. And you got the double pegged ball joint at the wrist that'll give you rotation and horizontal and vertical movement. You have to be careful not to dislodge your bicep at the shoulder, as that just happened again. You've got the upper diaphragm cut, and that'll give you some twist. And it'll give you a great lean backward, not so much forward. And then you've got the waist sitting on a ball joint that pops off easily. But you do get rotation there at that joint. You have really good movement in the hips and in the lower legs. So for example, you do have the drop down hip and you can pop it back in. A great split. You've got swivel in the upper thighs. You've got double jointed knees with rocker in the ankle. And you've got the toe. So great articulation overall. Let's take a quick look at some of his deco and his accessories up close. I am feeling the harness that they gave him. That is an elastic piece of cloth that does attach relatively easily. No problems there. And I really think it's really cool how they have these little tiny buckles. Closer look at that traditional Punisher logo. Super cool. Very chill how it lines up there with the skull, right? The forearm pieces of his gloves are loose and kind of like move around on the forearms there. The suit itself, and I'm going to bring out a Mezco for comparison. The material feels great. The elastic feels great. It just seems to slip a lot as you move the figure about, you know, and that just leads to a lot of awkward trying to pose and articulate. And as you saw before, it does not attach the lower piece to the upper piece. The shin pieces down here by the calves are also loose. So that just kind of like adds, and I get it that it's armor pieces, but it just adds to a lot of movement when you're trying to articulate the figure. And I haven't encountered that same experience with my Mezco figures, which have a lot of cloth goods. So just curiosity on that. Could be a personal thing, but I do love the blue and white presentation. It looks great. And the choice of blue that they went with is awesome. Feeling it. Let's take a close look at some of the deco on some of the accessories. And here a quick look at the machete with the metallic sheen, and it rests easily in the closed grip hand. Quick look at the 2 small Glocks. We see one with all of its rounds spent and the other. So that's a nice, cool little variation in detail there. Here, On the chamber of this Glock, you can see that little silver application of paint. Nice detail there. M16. Let's see if this one comes out. Oh man, it comes out. Did I break it? Nope. Very nice. You see another round inside of this clip. Very, very cool. Blam, blam effects. And we're going to attach those to guns in a bit. An additional open hand. A more slight hand. I'm not sure what he would hold here because I've tried to position other guns in this hand, even the small Glocks, and nothing really would fit well with the finger positioned. Holstered US pistol. And that comes with another one of those elastic straps. And I'm going to attach that to his leg. Last but not least, on the deco side, I just wanted to show you that he can hold these weapons with his trigger pulling finger well positioned on both of these guns. All right, nice little shot. Took me some effort to get it there because of this particular joint here between the bicep and the shoulder, and because of all of the slipping and slippage going on with this particular uniform against that really slippery buck that he has underneath the uniform. But otherwise, cool looking pose. Let's try another one. Blam, blam. Another nice little pose there. I really like the movement and the articulation in the legs. I mean, there is some really good, strong joint application here in the legs. Oh, by the way, I tried to attach the hip harness or the thigh harness and it broke. So it just popped right off of the glue. Yeah, so just some, I guess kind of like QC issues with some of the way that my figure is put together. Here you can see, I didn't even notice this. His crack is showing as I was articulating the lower body and the legs. So it kind of like gets bunched up there inside of the hip joint. And you see that over here. Let's try another action pose. And then I'm going to do a comparison of this material. It seems like the more slight grip hand with the trigger finger is for the M16. Nice little pose there. Very cool that he can actually hold them both as if he were shooting. Very, very cool. Let's look at a comparison of this material very quickly. We're going to start our comparison for today, and we're going to bring out Dr. Fate from Mezco Toys. But what I want to look at with these figures is just their suit, right? And how it fits on each of the figs. So just on the Mezco fig, there's a lot of less movement. It doesn't fit super tight and super snug. You can still move the figure about, but there's a lot of less movement on the figure. Here on the Revenger Punisher figure, I mean, anywhere you touch, it just kind of like drifts everywhere. And that becomes a problem for articulation, and it bunches up, as you saw here, because it drifts, and it'll bunch up in the joints. So just kind of like a note on the cloth that they used. I do love the color they went with. It does have a reflective sheen to it, but I wish it was more tight and secure fitting like the Mezco suits tend to be, especially here with Dr. Fate. I'll bring out another Mezco figure for a sense of size, Black Panther. And here, again, you see a little bit of the scale. And you can see here also that the suit, I mean, it is a different texture and material, but it just fits so snug. Again, this is Mezco, but comparable pricing on these figs. So just a note on that. I'll bring out my Marvel Legends Ben Reilly. Love this Spidey. And size-wise, you see the Revenger is a bit smaller, but articulation-wise, they are extremely comparable. Of note, and I guess kind of like my point with the QC issues that I'm having with the Revenger is that despite this being a $20 figure, all of the joints are extremely tight, especially up here in the shoulders and in that connection between the shoulder and the bicep. Very disappointed by how loose everything is coming off over here and in the head. I mean, his head just pops off at the neck. So that's really, really annoying. But you got a sense there for some scale with our Ben Reilly Anniversary Hulk. And you can see that he barely fits in the frame. So I'll adjust the camera there. Very, very nice. That is a massive hulking fig. Bump. I'll bring out my Mix Max Studios Stab of Hades. And you can see he is massive next to the Revenger, aka Punisher. I'll stand them over here. Very cool. I will also bring out for customizers and for the sake of scale, my GW toys, one of my favorite custom figure bodies that I've picked up this year, or even since being back in collecting since last year. Very, very cool custom figure body. And I'll be honest with you, as I kept having problems with the shoulder here and having to take off the shirt and reconnect the entire body, I did contemplate swapping out the costume and putting the uniform on my GW toys. But as you can see, the figure is taller, the arms are longer, the biceps are bigger. The uniform, in short, would just not fit on this figure's GW toys, so I didn't go with it. But I did contemplate it. I will also bring out my Mythic Legions Vorthog figure. And this is just an awesome, outstanding looking figure. And we'll get him standing right there by our Revenger. And again, for a sense of scale, you can see that he is a bit smaller than our typical Mythic Legions figure. Very, very cool there. And last but not least, for today's themed comparison, just for a sense of scale, I will bring out an ultimate size figure. And I will bring out my Thundercats Lion-O from Super 7. Overall, I am feeling the figure. I think that there's potential there for great articulation, considering that this is a less expensive figure body. It is constructed much, much sturdier than this particular body here. And even in the case of our Marvel Legends or in our Mythic Legions, they are constructed much, much sturdier than this particular figure is. But otherwise, he's really cool, and he just looks really, really awesome with that Punisher skull, and the white is really, really brilliant. You know, so very nice. As always, everybody, I'm having a lot of fun. Even when I struggle to articulate and pose a figure like this, I still have a ton of fun taking these times out and sharing these experiences. I hope you're able to keep coming back and share some experiences too. And for those of you that do, thank you so much, because that's what this is all about. Until next time, everybody, take care.